Just, it was traumatic. It was horrible, you can imagine. So we provided a burial for this boy. We got him the clothing, the casket, the transportation to the village where she had come from, where they were going to bury this child. And this burial, it's another story in itself, but it impacted an entire village. That village, it's just been so beautiful to see their response to the service that we did in providing this funeral. Well, during that funeral, the mother passed out and was taken to the hospital. And she was diagnosed with HIV, which just wiped her out. Her one son was still in the hospital getting treatment. The other one had just been buried. She was diagnosed with this illness. And knowing how people would treat her for the rest of her life because of what she had was just too much. And the day after we got the son back from the hospital, this mom committed suicide, which left the 6-year-old boy to find her and to try to survive afterwards by himself. And so again, we provided this funeral for this mom and the burial. And when I was able to go back, I was able to build a relationship with this James, this little boy, and spend time with him, take him to dinner. And that adventure led us to serving another young child who lived in the slums and helping their whole family. And it was incredible. But the weight of everything, dealing with those 4 days of not knowing what to do with the son and no food and no rent money, which we were able to help her with, she was just overwhelmed. It was that life was already hard. They were in poverty. They had no money. They had no work. They had a lot of struggle. And to add those things on top of each other all at the same time, it just was too much for her to handle. And so she didn't make it. But we, through that, have made such a beautiful impact in the village where she was buried and where the son was buried. And we have made such a difference in the young boy's life. We are staying very connected to him. He's on our soccer club, our football club over in Kenya, and being able to live out that dream for him. And it's really made a big impact in his life. And when we took him to dinner, I have pictures of how the big smile on his face, which he had never been able to go out and do that. That was something special for him. And it turned his life around, really did. But that's what people go through. The people we serve are people in need. And our foundation is designed to meet people in their need, help them become self-reliant and want to give back. And that's exactly what's happening. We have saved over 50 lives now. We have provided now, the number went up this week because we had another burial. We've now provided 8 burials, 7 children and then that mom, which honestly has been such a beautiful gift to me to be able to do that and to be able to provide that for these people who don't have that opportunity. They have no option. We have provided food, water, clothing, shelter, school supplies, school fees for orphanages, for families, for individuals. We have provided business opportunities, help people create businesses. When I took this young boy to this dinner, and we were just leaving, we were getting our Uber driver, I saw a little girl sitting at the side of the parking lot. And I could tell she was hungry. I could tell she was very ill. So I walked over to her and talked with her, and we got her dinner. And I asked Habil, my manager there in Kenya, to go find her again and find out where she lives. And we were able to do that. We found her single mom, her little sister, and they lived in a slum area. They had nothing. They didn't have beds. They didn't have a stove. They had nothing. And shortly after that, the little sister died. So we provided her funeral. But we were able to take this mom and this little girl that I had found on the street. We took them, got them into an apartment, helped the mother create a business that she wanted to do. The daughter got medical care. We got her into school. She's in the top of her class. This family is thriving, this mother and daughter. And it's just someone that I found as we were walking through, saw them in the parking lot. It's incredible to just be able to meet people in their need and then find out how we can solve the problem, but then help them get out of that situation so that they can become self-reliant and not have to live that way anymore. And that's really what we do. We're working with 100 single moms we've got in Uganda who are on the streets. They have no skills, no opportunity, no education. We're now partnered with an organization. We're getting sewing equipment, beauty salon equipment, and we're going to put together a training center where they can get skilled and be able to create businesses. We have put many people into businesses already, and it's their business of their dreams. It's what they want to do, and helping them realize they can change their life. They can create the life they want. And that's been phenomenal to be able to be a part of that. We're working on getting garden spaces. I have 6 young boys, teenage boys, who were put out of the children's home because there were too many kids dropped off. They had no space to keep these kids. And these kids grew up there. These are 14 to 16-year-old boys who've lived there all their life. They've had no education, no opportunity, and they were just put out on the street. So these are kids I know because I've been there. I've hugged every one of them. They're my kids, right? And it's just devastating. So I took these kids. We got them into an apartment where my manager is. So he's right there with them. They've got nearby, and he's helping them with his business, letting them have opportunity to learn the business part that we started for him. And they're being able to learn how to deal with customers, and they go and serve at the children's home. They provide produce for the children's home in our garden that we put together. So they're learning those skills, but we also got them into school. So they're able to go into their careers. One wants to be in business, 3 in agriculture, 1 a teacher, 1's an artist. It's amazing. And now they're able to dream and realize that this is their pivotal moment where they can change their life completely. And it's incredible. This week, we lost another child in Uganda, and we have 3 that we are in the process of saving right now, just within the past couple of days. It's just to be able to do that and to see that difference in people's lives and realize that if I had said no to the inspiration when this came a year ago, those 50 people wouldn't be here.
Yeah, one of the things, and I heard this the other night. I was watching a show, and it was talking about, due to the increase of people in the world and everything, how burial plots are becoming even more difficult. They're difficult here in the United States, and the United States is the youngest country out there. Places like Africa have been there they've been there for a day or two, let's be honest. So I could imagine that it's really even more difficult.
Yeah, it's not the space, though. It's these people live in poverty. They have no money.
Yeah.
And if they have no jobs, they get no treatment. They have no money. The kids, for example, malaria is about $65 to treat over there, okay? If the children, if our orphanages, if these kids or even the adults get malaria, they die.
Yeah. But $65 might as well be $65,000 over there.
Right. They will not be treated if they don't have the money. I was on a phone call at one point last year where there was a young boy brought in. He was playing in the tree, playing with other kids, and he fell out of a tree. Had internal injury, and while I was on the phone, when they were talking to me, telling me about it, he died. They wouldn't treat him. They wouldn't treat him until we had the money figured out, and it was too late. About a month ago, I served a 70-year-old woman over in Pakistan who was a burn victim. Her whole body had been on fire. I have pictures. It's terrible. And they left her in critical care for a week. They wouldn't treat her. She had no money. So we were able to get money there to get her surgery taken care of. They just suffer. And we don't understand that here because we have resources, we have insurance, we have opportunities to get help. I know it's not always easy for people, but there are opportunities here. There, they have nothing.
Our medical ethics are also a lot different. They can't do that here. Okay, if you're injured, they're going to complain about it. They're going to bitch and moan about it, and they're going to take and get their money somehow, some way. But if you get burned here, you get taken to a hospital, you're at least going to get treatment.
Right.
Is it going to be the best treatment? It's going to be as good as they can give you probably. But Lori, the same question I asked Dennis, and again, we all know that money's king. Money is king. Money's the top of the line. That's what we need the most. Lori, what else can help your organization? What else is something that, and again, you guys have heard the story about what they do. Please tell somebody else. Tell them to look up the Lori Landon Foundation.
We don't only serve over in the other countries, though we are going completely global. We've got well over 20 countries in line to be coming in. I mean, it's unbelievable, beautiful. But we also serve U.S., right? We serve the veterans, we serve the homeless. One of the things we are working on right now, I have partnered with, it's been amazing. Doors are opening like crazy. It's beautiful. I've partnered with an entertainment company over in New York, and this is going to be a lifelong journey. I'm going to continue this because I love it so much. Their entertainment company is designed to run benefit concerts for charities to help raise funds. So what we have decided to do, having been a prior music and theater teacher, right, and teacher in schools, we are partnering with schools to put on these concerts. For example, we have booked a concert up in Washington State in November. We partnered with the PTA. The PTA is going to get a very beautiful fundraiser out of this. And they're going to be helping us not only get the venue accessible at the rate of the PTA, but also being able to sell the tickets because they have the families, being able to bring in the vendors because they're there locally. We're going to bring in the Journey Band to come in and perform. And because that was the choice they made. They wanted the Journey tribute band. So we're bringing that group from New York. We're flying them over there. And then out of that, they're going to get a fundraiser. We're supporting the schools while we also generate a lot of revenue for the foundation. We're booking one in Southern California, booking one in Maryland. I've got some in the process working towards Texas, maybe Colorado, which is where you are, Zach, Utah, Oklahoma, Idaho, Alaska, Philadelphia, New York, Florida. We've got people that are working on getting these schools where we can partner with the music department, the theater department, the PTA, just any booster organization, sports. We could do sports. That way, not only do we get to bring awareness, and I want to go to every state, by the way, that's my goal. I want to take it and speak and bring awareness of the foundation on the stage to every one of those events. And at the same time, all of those schools are going to be benefited. So the foundation is serving the schools locally, as well as the veterans and the homeless here in the U.S. So it's just a beautiful way. So one of the things they could do for that is connect me to anyone at the school that has a theater of about 700 seats or more. Could be a college, could be a high school, whatever school has a space with that kind of seating. And they could become partners, which would benefit the kids in their school as well as benefit the foundation. So that's one of the big things that I would love to have help with. And it doesn't take any money from them. It's just helping us put it together, right? Organizing it. And then the other thing would be cause marketing or partnering with me in their business, because we are a nonprofit. They do get a tax break, supposedly. And so if they would like to partner with us, either sponsoring our soccer club, although the kids, it's just an amazing story. And if they're interested, have them call me because I would love to share those stories with them. So we've got the soccer club. We've got people, orphanages needing food, and any of the things that they would be interested in. We can either designate it or we can just take generate the revenue and then take it over and serve the people. School supplies, school fees for the states or for around the world. It's needed everywhere. So there's a lot of things that can be done. Monetarily, monetary donations are definitely very helpful for us because we usually have trouble shipping to some of the third world countries, but we can still make use of donations. Technology, we're working on building training centers. We're trying to get connected. All of my people over there are on Zoom with me every month. So all of those kinds of connections, technology would be very helpful. If you have an old phone, if you have an old computer, I'm sure we can make use of it. They're happy if they get a pencil and paper. some basic school
Yep.
supplies, things like that, clothing, shoes. These kids don't have them. They don't have it. And so any of that would be greatly appreciated. So there's so many ways that could be done to be able to help support us. But I will say, I feel so honored and so blessed. I'm going to get emotional here. Sorry. To be able to do this. And I told my story, I believe, last time a little bit more in depth, but those moments of inspiration that led to bringing me to this point, and those pivotal moments, the illness that I went through, and letting go of my career, stepping out blindly, you know, those times, I'm so grateful that I said yes to do this. And as I look back and I think about all of the people and all of the relationships that I've built through this worldwide, it's just amazing. So anyone who wants to be a part of something that brings more love and connection in your life, more relationships, more fulfillment, join me. Come be a part of it with me. You know, there's so many ways we can serve. I've had a few people say they want to go with me on my next trips. They want to be a part of it. They want to feel what I feel, you know, and it's so beautiful, so beautiful.
Well, we want to shout out Mr. Wasserman. Mr. Wasserman's the one who is the lead of putting together these concerts that you're talking about. He does such a wonderful job. Such an energetic little man. He truly is. That guy, you talk to him and you feel like you could run through a building, don't you, Lori?
Yes, and I told him this is a lifelong journey for me with him. I'm so excited about this. So we're getting calls, even Alaska. We're getting called today. Today I got a call that we're going to do a concert in Philadelphia and Florida. I mean, just new ones that have opened up. It's just beautiful. And I just cannot wait to be able to share this with the world and across the nation. And on top of that, the way we are benefiting schools and the children here in the States, it's beautiful win-win. You know, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
One of the way that you can help out, Lori, is right here. You just, oh, sorry, Stephanie, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Boy, I'm just at it today. But right here, if you scan that QR code in the corner and you shop with any of our partners, they will donate a portion of your purchase, and it can go to the Lori Landon Foundation, which will help them continue the wonderful things that they're doing. So please make sure that if you can't get to your phone right now, if you can't get to the QR code right now, simply go to communitypayitforward.us, type in Lori Landon, and it'll pop up. I would like to give, of course, Stephanie and Dennis, I'd like to give you guys the opportunity. Please, do you guys have anything that you would like to ask or comment with Lori?
How do you keep it all together, Lori? You've got so much going on around the world, and I'm just having trouble with the scope of what I'm trying to do. I can't imagine.
You know, I love what I'm doing. In fact, there's one thing I didn't share, and that has to do with Stephanie. She brought a gentleman from Pakistan to me this week, and we were able to meet. And we are going to be opening a library and learning center for children in Pakistan. And I'm just so excited, and the joy I feel. You know, that's probably, Dennis, that's probably what helps me do it all, because I don't want to stop. I don't want to miss things. I don't want to let anyone down. I want to help these people. And there's so many people that need help. And, you know, as I tell everyone, the giver is the receiver. When you give, you receive so many blessings, and it just makes you want to continue to give. And I think once people expand that giving heart and feel what I feel, they're not going to want to stop either. It's just so beautiful. You know, it's incredible. And with every country come different needs and opportunities to serve in different ways. There's so much variety. It keeps it so exciting to be able to serve in different ways. You know, we're working on putting in farming. We're working on putting in bee farms, putting in schools and training centers in Africa as well, and Nepal, putting in educational centers in Nepal. And I mean, it's just beautiful, because we get to go and meet. I plan to travel and see all of these people that I'm serving, meet them, develop this family relationship. That's the way I am. And to be able to go and really meet them and know what their need is, to feel what their need is, and to be able to serve them fully, because I do know them. I know what they're going through. And that's what I'm just so thrilled with this opportunity. Just feel blessed, totally blessed. It's wonderful.
Stephanie, you had a comment?
Yeah, no, I mean, shout out to you, Lori. Thank you for taking the time this week. And I'll share really quickly that this gentleman has been following me for over 2 years, keeping in contact with me, reaching out, checking in on how work was going here with, serving the nonprofits. And I was kind of stuck. And when I met Lori through you, Zach, I was like, oh, somebody who can navigate this. This is wonderful. So thank you for connecting with him, because I'm just excited. I'm excited for you to go to see them, to video chat you while you're there.
I'm so excited too. And with this gentleman, I mean, it was just providing books, but as it went along, the inspiration hit me that we might as well make this, rather than giving each child their books, make this a library learning center where all of the children can come together. They can share the books, they can learn, they can have papers and pencils and resources to work with, and make it something that will be more impactful and more meaningful,
Over the years.
Excited about it.
I think that's one of the greatest things about what we all do, and I think that you guys will also agree with this. But it's so funny how you start with an idea, and you can watch that idea just morph into something that's so completely, once an idea starts, next thing you know, you got 15 more ideas, and yeah, Dennis, like you said, there after a while, you're sitting there going, wait a minute, who am I? So yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Stephanie, explain this, please.
1 second before I jump into that. One thing that did really stand out to me with what Lori said was all of these people who she missed with the malaria by $65, you guys. $65. I'm in a matter of life and death with these kids. That's so huge. So I just wanted to say that again, because
the food for orphanages for 100 children for a whole month is less than $300. 100 children for an entire month of food, and yet these kids go 4 or 5 days with nothing, not even rice, nothing.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's just, yeah.
I'm sorry, Zach.
No. Please, I'm glad you brought that up. That's, like I said, it's amazing because we're not used to this in this country. Look, we know what freaks us out with our own country. We know that there are kids in our country that go without food. Okay, we know that there's a hunger problem in our country as well. But like you said, Stephanie, there are people dying in other countries for less than people are spending on fast food every month.
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
One trip. Some of us with larger families, that fast food, that's one trip that that you could have saved lives if you would have just taken and repurposed that money. So
one fast food trip, one trip a week to Starbucks that you're brewing coffee at home instead. You could be sponsoring these incredible organizations with even that $5 or $10 that you were going to spend.
I was going to say
and
that,
really,
$5 or $10. It doesn't take much.
Right.
If enough people do it, right? If enough people will help.
As a matter of fact, if you take and you would make 6 purchases on one of these QR codes, what would that do, Stephanie?
So what I love to share is that with the organizations that I work with, for every $50 that we raise collectively as a group, my way of giving back with this partnership with these incredible organizations is, for every $50 we raise, I'm going to donate 25 personally. And that's unlimited. So that's equivalent to approximately of wine, whether it's to the Price of Freedom Foundation, 2 cases of wine, that's going to be equivalent to a $75 donation, just to kind of put it together for you. Of course, it varies depending on the wine you put in your box a little bit, but approximately 2 cases is going to get a $75 donation to either of these foundations. If you are not on our community pay it forward One Hope fundraising page on Facebook, definitely join us there, because you'll see all the updates for these incredible organizations, and we share some wine and some seasonal recipes and fun things there as well. But the QR codes here will take you directly to the organization that you would like to support. If you just open up the camera on your phone, hold it up to that QR code, it will take you directly to the site. Mother's Day is coming. Spring is here. So definitely refill and sip and support one of these great causes. If you are not comfortable with the QR code, the link is right below as well. onehopewine.com/event/ and then the unique 6-digit code is also right there. So,
well, thank you so very much again to both of you.
Can I put in a plug for Stephanie and One Hope Wines?
Please do. She doesn't get it enough.
Well,
She's amazing.
we did a fundraiser event about almost a year ago, and we had ordered some samplers set of wines, and I wouldn't say that I'm a big wine drinker, but I do drink wines, and I have over the years of my existence here on this earth. And I was hesitant about the Cabernet, and I'm blanking on there's a dry white wine too that was in there. And I think
you had the Chardonnay and the sparkling
Chardonnay,
if I remember.
Yes, and I was actually shocked at how smooth and how tasteful these wines were. It's like it was unlike any Chardonnay. It was unlike any Cabernet Sauvignon I've ever had, and because most of them, it's like, man, I have to really take this in little tiny sips to get it down. That was not the case with One Hope Wine. So if you were kind of like me and you're kind of on the fence about, another Cabernet, try theirs. They're great.
Thank you, Dennis.
It's so beautiful. I've really gotten to know and appreciate her this past couple of weeks, and it's been a beautiful relationship. I'm excited to continue working with her. Very sweet person.
Look, this $25 is coming out of her own pocket. I mean, this isn't a bonus that she gets from the company. This is coming out of her own pocket. And I mean, look, like I've told everybody, when Stephanie and I first met, we had this immediate connection, and I truly fell in love with the person she is, because she's a like soul, and you guys, your organizations, those are what matter to us. We're doing this because we need more people to see what you guys are, who you guys are, why you're here. We want more people to find you. We want more people to support you, because you guys, I say it every show, the worst thing for you to hear is, I wish I would have known about you before ... That can change. We just need people to talk about you. And whether this show helps my company at all, I don't care. If it gets people talking about you guys, that's what's important to us.
Really appreciate it.
And when I was telling Stephanie this, we came up with the idea of this show, and she was just, yep, let's do it. It's done. Let's go. And it was amazing. And it's a partnership that I'll never, ever regret. So, but once again, I want to thank both of you guys. And if either of you have to take off, that's fine. But it's time for the Goddess of the Grape to take over and show us a few things, tell us a few things that she's got going on. Right down here, you can see, and I know it's a terribly long link, but that is the actual link to the Facebook page. I created.
If you have that QR code with my link tree, Zach, it'll also have a link there for that.
There you
That might
go.
be a
So,
little bit easier than that
so
long
there
thing.
you go.
But
Just use
you
her.
guys have me blushing. How am I going to do this now? And after all the chills with both of your stories,
And you know what? There's no rushing. And this is amazing. Is that, you know what, we get to do whatever we want because I know the boss. He's not going to kick me off. So we're gonna end up unfortunately pushing an interview again, but that's fine because the stories that we're told today are that important, and this message is important. So Stephanie, no rush. Take your time, sweetie. Do what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
I do have to. I have a friend I have to go pick up in the town nearby, and so I will have to say goodnight here. Again, thank you all. It's an honor to be here, and actually, I have a couple of folks in mind for future guests for you as well. So
It was nice to meet
we'll
you.
be in touch. Thank you so much.
thank you for being
Well,
here,
that
Dennis.
that would be fantastic. We would greatly appreciate it. Anything that you can do, and you can get a hold of Dennis at info@priceoffreedomfoundation.org. That's once again info@priceoffreedomfoundation.org. The phone number listed on the website is 615-389-1867. Once again, that's 615-389-1867. And remember, it's just priceoffreedomfoundation.org.